We think a government-backed social finance fund could help lift Canada's social organizations to a size and scale that matches the problems they seek to solve. But the international examples tell us that a social finance fund can only accomplish these goals if carefully designed. We're doing a little bit of research, and we want to bring a few principles that we've seen from international examples. First, the fund must know what it's trying to solve. So without a precise statement of its problem, the fund risks dissipating its money among too many theories of change. A clear problem and a clear theory on how to solve that problem answers a lot of the questions that a social finance fund must answer. So variables such as the size of the fund, the price of its capital, the length of its life, and even the source of its money should derive from a problem and a theory shared across its stakeholders. A social finance fund must be allowed to shift its strategy. So no design dreamed up in the first instance will suit the fund's social finance market perfectly. The fund must be allowed the flexibility to adapt as it learns and as the market grows. We think, of course, that a social finance fund must define what it counts as social investment and what does not, but too many cut-in-stone restrictions, such as on the legal form social organizations must take, the regions in which you invest, or the social goals you must pursue, will stifle a social finance fund. The more constraints, the less likely a fund can champion an ever-evolving market. Canadian Social Finance Fund will chart its own path to meet its own market. But the fund should learn from the UK, the EU, Portugal, Australia, Japan, other countries that are moving forward on this journey together. Canadian funds should settle on a well-defined problem and a flexible approach to solving that problem. And with those pieces in place, we see a great deal of potential to equip the best social entrepreneurs to solve some of our most difficult challenges.
It might be important to keep it outside of government for a couple of reasons. One is there is, as Jane pointed out, at any level of investment, a need to have a certain deftness and a certain ability to take risk and understand the risks you're being asked to take in this area. And I think it's frankly unfair to ask government to do that, because when it is asked to do that, it has to measure it against every other risk or every other regulation it has. So I think you can task a specific agent or agency to do this. But the other piece I think would be important is that that's a vehicle through which you can actually build true partnership with other capital. It doesn't just have to be government capital. It's hard to invest somebody's capital into government, but it's easy for two capital sources to meet outside of government and make commitments around capacity building and other pieces, which the philanthropic sector already does, but might want to formalize inside one of these relationships. I think it could be a crown corporation. It could be a partnership structure with government and other entities. I'm less fussed about the absolute structure as I am what characteristics it has to have and what it can do.
I think just to echo those comments, I think there is value in a structure that allows for leverage of other capital. I think that's a really important point that the others have raised. But as someone who would like to contribute, we put our capital to work. We'd like to be able to work with other forms of capital. And so as long as the structure doesn't restrict that, then I think that would be ideal.